Hello friends, it's Indira from Indie Arts Creations. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. Happy St. Patrick's Day. So we're going to do something in the theme of St. Patrick's Day. We have a lot of green going on, and I have to admit I wanted to film this last night, but I couldn't do something in prepping with the canvases, so I had to wait. And I happened to see another artist do something, so I already got all of my colors. I promise you this theme was already there with the colors, but I did happen to be able to pick up a 4-leaf clover from the dollar store, and we are going to pour over this, and this did come from Mixed Media Girl. So that was her idea, but the colors, I promise you, they were mine. So why am I going to pour over something? So the reason you pour over something, or the reason why you use different prompts and things, are because you want to make designs. If you're not doing a specific technique, it's another way to do designs. So the thought is that if I pour over this, it may be in the shape of a 4-leaf clover when we're done, and then when I stretch it or tilt the canvas, we're hoping that some of the shape stays with it. So we have our regular green, but I did mix up some greens for this project. So we actually have a Shamrock green, and that's mixed to the right consistency. We have a neon green, which is Artist Loft from Michael's. We have a phthalo green, which again is Artist Loft. We're going to use a little yellow, and we're going to use some blue. So I have turquoise blue. I have turquoise blue, which is Liquitex, and I have like a phthalo blue, which is Master's Choice. So what I'm going to do is I am going to layer the cup, or I'm going to pour it in. I'm not going to layer it. There are different ways that you can pour your paint into a cup, one being layered, and then it looks like a layer. But today I'm just going to pour it. And so when I'm pouring, as I pour it, I will explain the difference. So this little puppy actually lights up. That's really cool. Okay, so we'll start with just a little white. And then it's not going to be in any orders, but again, I'm just going to pour it. So what's the difference when you pour the paint directly into the cup versus you layer it? When you pour it directly in, what it does is that those colors, by and large, they will seep down into the bottom. Yikers, I forgot to take the top off the yellow. And when you layer it, if you've watched any of the other videos, when you layer it, you really pour it against the side of the cup to create a layer. And so depending on what you want to do in your project, you may want to layer your paint. I don't think I've done any blue. So sometimes when you mix your paint, if you don't give it a chance to settle, it'll have bubbles, which can create some cells. It can also create bubbles. And so it just depends on what you want. I'm just going to put a splash of black for contrast. So it just depends on what you want. If you want cells or not want cells. But if you have the time, you should maybe pre-mix. I'm wondering if we'll have any left, because I'm thinking I have some other colors, and with those I'm thinking about doing a flip cup with leftovers. So And I think I won't literally use a cup. I think I'm going to use some, I had saved some little applesauce containers that I think I might use. So let's see, I think I'm going to end with turquoise. And I did 2 layers of each. This canvas is an 11 by 14. So we will start with this, and hopefully it'll be enough. And if not, I can definitely, so what I'm gonna, I can definitely just touch up the sides with some paint. I think I'm just gonna pour it directly on, and I apologize because I felt like I lost my train of thought there for 1 second. So I'm just gonna do like a direct pour. As you can see, it is coming out in the shape of the 4 Leaf Clover, and it's really a cool shape actually. One thing I forgot to mention, the first color that you put in your cup is the last color that will come out of your cup. So just know that if you want your paint to be in any particular order, that's the order that it comes out. So I'm just giving it a couple of secs to settle. And what am I doing there? I'm just taking some of the paint, getting some of the paint out on the edges. But I'm trying to let the paint actually settle. And if you see, we still do have our shape. If you can see, we do still have like our clovered shapes. So I'm going to carefully lift this up. Move this to the side. And so now I'm going to tilt, and we're going to see how much our shape stays, how much goes. Did we have enough paint? I haven't gotten this paint thing down yet, guys, in terms of the exact measurements for you know, the size of the canvas versus the ounces or grams of paint. So I'm trying to keep our shape somewhat. So I can tell you that so let's see. It still has a nice shape. We've lost some of the shape, but I still think that it's a really nice pattern. Sometimes we just have to be patient with the paint, and let it do what it's gonna do. I'm going to bring this back and see. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing this back, right? And the idea is to bring that back somewhat center. We actually did pretty good with the paint. Could we have used a little more? Yes, we could have. And we definitely had a little more to use. So what I'll do is the next time I use this size canvas, I will try to remember kind of how much paint I had in the cup versus how much we need. We need a little more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it down. I'm going to work it a little bit. There's a couple of air bubbles that I need to try to get. And you know this torch, if you've been looking at any of the other videos, has really been temperamental. Sometimes it wants to work, sometimes it doesn't. So in this case, our torch has just popped the air bubbles. It hasn't produced any cells per se, but we have some cells in here. So I'm going to take it down. I'm going to work it a little bit. I'm going to work the edges, put a little more paint on the edges, and I will bring you in for a close-up. Hi, we're back for the close-up, starting in the left corner. I'm going to go left to right, down, and then right to left. So I like the little white that we see at the top. We don't have a lot of white or yellow for that matter as we move on down on the painting or in the painting. Here is the corner, and then I will come over to the left corner. To me, I still see some of the shape of the four-leaf clover. I would love to know what you see. So if you leave a comment, that would be good. I'm going to pan out. And I wanted to show you something. Our little four-leaf clover. It's still going strong. I put it on a piece of plastic. And that made a really cool pattern. That's really nice. So again, thank you for watching. Thank you for all your support. I appreciate all of the comments. I know Debbie Philly left a lot of comments on a lot of the other videos of the paintings. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate all of the comments. And I appreciate the support, the likes, the shares. I appreciate everyone that has subscribed. For those who haven't, please subscribe. And also, if you haven't, make sure that you hit the notification bell on the right hand side of subscribe and choose all. And what that allows is that when a new video comes, you'll get a notification. And I try to send out, videos to different people as well, because I know some people haven't subscribed. Another thing I think is worth mentioning is that as long as you have a Google account, I believe, you can subscribe and be able to post comments. So again, thank you for all of your time. I hope that you enjoyed this painting and this video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your St. Patty's Day. Until we meet again, cheers to painting.